All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan, the ex-Muslim atheist, and welcome to another episode of Sultan's House of Sin. Right. This clown, I know we have Imran Khan and it's getting very embarrassing to have him as a prime minister. But you Canadians, you must be really embarrassed to have this clown as your prime minister. Look what he said. He said caricatures. Freedom of expression is not without limits, says Justin Trudeau. And he gave that infamous example. You don't cry fire in a crowded cinema or theater. Yeah, genius. No shit. You don't cry that because there's a harm principle involved. You are urging people to leave theater falsely. But when you draw cartoons, you're not urging anyone to do anything. You're just sharing your opinion. As distasteful as it might be, I don't like those cartoons myself, but as distasteful as they might be, it's not urging you to do anything. But when you cry fire in a crowded theater room, then you're urging people to leave, causing panic, and then people will hurt themselves. So it's a false equivalence. But anyway, he's just appeasing. We know he always appeases the Islamist crowd. He impressed people when he came to power by saying all the politically correct statement. Put a Sikh clothes on and that get up on, and then pretend, I'm very inclusive. I'm a Sikh. I'm a Hindu. I'm a Muslim now. But we know that not all cultures are the same. Not all cultures are equally violent. Not all cultures are equally inclusive or tolerant. But people like him have they I don't know what, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to speculate on his motives, but I'm just going to say that he lives in some bubble and he thinks that everything is hunky-dory if you just say the things that please other people. So here he is. On one hand, he's saying free speech is not absolute, or it doesn't have any limits. And in the very same day, or just a day before, in his own country, a Canadian imam, look what he said so openly. And I tweeted about it. That tweet went pretty good. It did pretty well. So again, I ask you guys to follow me on Twitter. This is the tweet. As you can see, 413 tweets, nearly 8,000 views, 600 likes, etc., which is pretty good. And this imam, look, he used his freedom of speech, and look what he said.
Not too long ago, a teacher in France chose to show those insulting cartoons to his class at a school. And of course, some of the Muslim students who were there were very annoyed and upset, and they objected, as did their parents. And they spoke up, but nobody bothered listening to them. Nobody paid any attention to them. Then about a week ago, it is said, and I repeat, it is said, that a young Muslim man confronted this cursed individual. He confronted this evil-spirited man. He confronted this filthy excuse of a human being on the street, and he beheaded him. Right now, we are angry at what these filthy people are doing. So one of the things that you and I can do is to boycott all French products and services. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الكفرة والمشركين اللهم دمر أعداء الدين وأهلك الزنادقة والملحدين اللهم انصر المجاهدين في سبيلك في كل مكان اللهم أهلك كل من أساء لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم أهلك كل من أساء إلى رسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم أهلك كل من أساء لرسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم.
openly he's saying annihilate atheists and disbelievers. He's praising the Chechen terrorist openly. No shame. He's calling him this young man. And he's calling the man who was brutally beheaded, he's calling him cursed individual. He's calling him sorry excuse of a man, filthy man, etc., etc. That's what this guy's name is Yunus Katrada. He's a Canadian imam. Is happening in his country, and this pretty boy thinks that he has got everything figured out. He just wants to come out and say all the right things that please people. You know who's happy with this statement? All the Pakistanis are jumping up and down. They're saying, yes, look, see, Canadian Prime Minister, yay, he's right, yay. But they would never condemn individuals like this guy, this Canadian imam. So that's how bad it is. And I can't wait for him to be kicked out. This is why I said Emmanuel Macron seems like the only leader in the West. Mind you, again, Emmanuel Macron is not a right-winger. He's not a hardliner. He's a leftist. He's a liberal. That's who he is. And he is saying, which is so obvious, it's written on the wall. These Islamists tell you women are not equal to men. Homosexuality is a sin. Kill them. That's what these guys believe. If you're a Canadian, you know, this guy doesn't deserve any votes. This guy needs to be kicked out as soon as possible. Oh, am I meddling in Canadian internal affairs? I don't know. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.